There's a reason why I took a break from watching anything horror related, because I wanted to not feel anxious anymore. Hey guys, Melinda here. I am going to be talking about something so amazing today. I can't wait to get into it. I'm very excited. I have a lot of notes and thoughts about the TV show that I'm going to be talking about today, so we are just gonna go ahead and jump right in and get started. Today I am going to be talking about The Haunting of Hill House. This is a Netflix original TV series. Let me tell you, it was so freaking good and amazing that I am blown away at how good it was, how fantastic it was. Two things before I get started. First, I wanted to just note that I mostly have reviewed movies in the past and not many TV shows, and it's because it was always a time restraint. But I am finding that with this new video scheduling that I'm going to be doing, which is movie or TV review every other week, I do have the time to actually sit down and watch some TV shows, so expect to regularly see that cycle through. And then second, for those of you who haven't seen my other movie or TV reviews, I like to review it in a way that gives no spoilers. I won't be talking about any specifics. I will be talking on a very general, broad basis. If I do reference something, it is something that can be found in the trailer, so anybody can click onto this video, get an idea if they want to go see it, and there you go. Let's go ahead and get started because I have a lot to talk about. So, The Haunting of Hill House, like I mentioned, streaming on Netflix, is a Netflix original horror series. I haven't watched anything horror since I watched 31 horror movies back in October, and there was a reason why I took a nice little break, and it's because I was so tired of feeling nauseous and anxious every single day from all of the horror movies that I was watching. This TV show I had been wanting to watch for a very long time. It looks so intriguing. I've never, aside from American Horror Story, I haven't really seen any other horror TV series fiction that I was interested in. I wanted to give it a try. I was not disappointed. I was very thrilled and impressed with what the show brought. Just to give you guys an idea of what this show is about is exactly what the title is, The Haunting of Hill House. It was founded by a family with the name Hill, and it's a haunted house, and it's about this family that moves in and they start experiencing haunted related events. We get a little bit of a backstory of what goes on in the house when the kids are very little, and then we go to present day when the kids are all grown up, they're adults, they have their own lives, and we see how those haunted events are affecting them in the present day. So it was a really neat and interesting idea, and I absolutely loved the balance between the two past and present storylines. I assumed going into this that it was mostly going to be an origin story, so we were going to see the kids when they were really little, we're going to see their parents and seeing how they all go through the events that happen, and then maybe get a glimpse of the future. But no, the whole series is about both the present and the past and how they connect and tie in together. I do want to say though that if you guys do go watch the trailer just to get a better idea of what the show is about, the trailer does not do this show justice at all. The trailer does not really reflect what to expect in the show. It only gives you a small taste of what actually happens and occurs. I'm a little disappointed in that because I want the trailer to be more intriguing so more people would want to watch it, but I completely understand why they only gave a snippet because there is so much that happens within this story. You can't put it all in a 2-minute trailer. I understand it, but also disappointed. Just know that you are only seeing a small fraction of what the show actually is about, and there is so much more to expect from it. Now, before I go into some of the specifics that I have about the TV show, I just want to say there are a lot of big names in this. Just to give you guys an idea of who is in the show, and I apologize if I say any of their names wrong. We have Victoria Pedretti, Kate Segal, Carla Gugino, Elizabeth Reeser, McKenna Grace, Timothy Hutton, Annabeth Gish, Anthony Ruvivar, and Oliver Jackson Cohen. Those are just the ones that I at least recognized while watching this, and was so blown away and so impressed that they were able to get so many big names for this TV show. So let's go ahead and dive right into the specifics of this show. First thing that I wanted to note is that this is a 10 episode season. It's really easy to binge it. Each episode can vary between 40 minutes to an hour. I did just an episode a day and got through it within a week. I feel that is something to be said about the show as well. I paced myself to do one episode a day, and it was so good and so intriguing that that's just what consumed my mind for the entire week. At work, I'm just constantly thinking about the show and what's gonna happen and where they're gonna go from it, and it was just so exciting. I haven't thought this hard about a TV show or a movie in a really long time. So it was refreshing and exciting, and I just wanted to keep watching it and get more of the story. So episodes 1 through 5 is kind of the origin and the backstories of all the characters, of all the kids, I should say. They have 5 kids. Each episode is devoted to one of these kids' characters, which we then see their past, what happened when they were at Hill House, and how it's affecting them in their adulthood. What I find very interesting about these 5 episodes is that we are seeing all of these same events that are happening at the exact same time. We're just getting it from that character's perspective. So as you go through these 5 episodes, more and more is revealed to the audience, and we get more of the story, and it's just so interesting to see what the character is going through, what they're thinking, and what is happening on the other end of every conversation and situation that they're a part of. It's just so amazing and so gripping and thrilling that I was so intrigued by it. And then episode 6, by far, the most impressive episode. Episode 6, we just got all of the characters' backstories. They're coming together for a family reunion type situation, no spoilers, but the entire episode is basically done in one shot, in one take. If you don't know what that means, let's say you have a 5-minute scene of dialogue between 2 characters. You know how normally the camera cuts between the 2 characters? There is no cuts whatsoever in this episode. Well, there is, but I'll get to that in a minute. We have these very long 15-20 minute scenes between all of these characters that the camera is just panning around them and moving with them as they move into new rooms, and it's just amazing and so impressive to watch. The only time that there was a cut, they would have a scene in the present and then they would cut back to a scene from the past. That would be the only cut. But even still, you have this 20-minute scene of present day, you would cut to the past, and that would continue in that one take. It was so just interesting. Oh, that's all I can say is it was so interesting and intriguing, and I was so invested, and I was so blown away by what I was watching, and just thoroughly impressed with this episode. This horror TV show is nothing like I've ever seen before. I've seen it done in movies, but nothing like this in a TV series. Horror movies these days tend to be about gore and visual effects and jump scares and just making it so extraordinary and making the audience feel so uncomfortable. That is what the horror is derived from. Now in this, there hardly are any jump scares in it. It is purely suspenseful and tense and uncomfortable for each episode. That is what the horror and the fear and the anxiety comes from. There hardly are any jump scares to just get your heart racing, but instead keep a steady pace because you're so intrigued on what's gonna happen. And I was always waiting for some kind of jump scare because that's what we expect within the horror genre, but there was never really anything. It was all suspense and spooky and eerie and etc, etc. And that ties into my next point, and that's I didn't really start to pick up on this until maybe about the 3rd episode in. They really focused on background scary figures and faces and ghosts and whatever else in the background. So never right there in your face, ready to do a jump scare, but just there in the background. That is really what creates that anxiety and that fear, to the point where I really started to focus on the background. I was so zoned in on the dialogue and waiting for the jump scares that I feel that I probably missed a lot that happened within the background. And I really do want to rewatch it for that reason. And I also want to rewatch it knowing what I know now and trying to pick up on all all those little hints that they spread throughout, which they were very good about too, of just dropping these hints leading up to the big reveal. So tastefully done, so well done, very impressive, and I applaud it so much. One other thing that I really like about the show is the fact that they cover so many real life issues. Depression, mental illness, drug abuse, addiction, alcoholism, rehab, and suicide. They cover all of these very real issues that exist in today's society, and I thought they did a very good job at representation and showing how nasty all of these things can be in a person's life. One of the things that I really loved about the horror aspect of this TV series is that it's not like a normal haunting. When you think about a haunted house in a movie or a TV show, it's very cliched and it's always about objects flying around the room or moving, TVs and lights turning on and off by themselves, unexplainable loud bangs, doors opening by themselves. That tends to be the stereotypical horror haunted house, I would say. And this doesn't happen. There's none of that happens in this TV show, but yet it is still a haunted house. They focus on other aspects of it, is what makes it so suspenseful and so intense. They just do a really great job at showing how this house is haunted without doing those stereotypical cliched events. It is all about mind games and tricking the characters to do and see things constantly. I think that is so innovative and creative and clever. The ghosts get in their minds, play games, play tricks with them, and end up causing them to do things and see that were never there. Oh, it's so interesting how it's revealed. Again, just amazingly well done and very impressive. There are several major plot twists that occur within this 10 episode season. Some moments were predictable and I was able to see coming, but I want to say the majority of it, couldn't see it a mile away, couldn't see it in my peripheral. Really came out of the blue and hit me, and jaw-dropping moments. And now we're gonna move into some of the bad things. I was very disappointed in the last episode. It's the season finale. This is usually when the most dramatic stuff happens. We get the resolution, all of that ending stuff. This series gets so invested within the characters. You get so emotionally attached to them. It's constantly building the tension and all of the dramatic events leading up to this moment, to this final episode. It was so anticlimactic and it was very, very played down. Just very disappointing. Like, I wanted more action. I wanted it to be more scary. I wanted more ghosts. It ties everything up. It does have a resolution. It ties everything up in a pretty neat bow. I just wanted more from it. This episode was more than an hour long. It was like an hour, 15 minutes long. So I was expecting just nonstop action. It was so anticlimactic and I was so disappointed. I just wanted more from it is all. I was so into this show and I was so ready to find out what happened, and the way that they delivered it, really bummed me out, man. And that leads into the very last note and thought that I had. This show leaves a lot of unanswered questions. Some are good, that leaves it open-ended so the audience can keep wondering, keep thinking about it. But then there are also some bad questions that you should not have at the end of the series. I've mentioned this in some of my other reviews. I am very big on the how and the why. I want the explanation. I want to know how things work, how we got there. My biggest question is, why is this house haunted? What happened in this house to have so many ghosts, so many spirits lingering around, playing mind games on people? Where did they come from? How did they get there? What is up with this house? That is honestly the biggest question that I have after finishing it that is unanswered, and I'm sure I will never get an answer. I want that. I really want that. I want those answers, and I'm not gonna get them. So, hence why I'm disappointed. Alrighty, that is basically everything that I wrote about. Overall, minus my disappointments, this is an amazing show. Very well done, very well written, very impressive. One of the best things I've seen in the horror genre, movie and TV show. I would absolutely recommend for everybody to go watch. It's all purely suspense and tense and just making you feel anxious and uncomfortable and that is what true horror is about. Absolutely recommend everybody to go watch. I'm very excited to see the spin-off series, A Haunting of Bly Manor. Next month, I have been waiting for a TV show to come out for several years, and it's finally being released, so I will be talking about that next month, but I think the following month is when I will watch Haunting of Bly Manor and talk about it then. So stay tuned for that. That is pretty much everything. If you guys want to go more into specific, you want to hear about my other questions, some of my theories, and anything like that, leave it down in the comments down below. Let's have a discussion. I'd love to go further into detail about this TV show. That's it for this review, and expect to see more TV reviews in the future. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you all for the support. If you like this video, or if you like the TV show, then go ahead, give this video a big thumbs up. It would absolutely mean the world to me. And make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're not already and you want to see more content. With that being said, I will see you guys in the next video. Live life, always laugh, and enjoy the journey. Bye. I have a lot of, I have a lot of oh my goodness.